we went. And at first, it was the most terrible disappointment of my life. Because he wasn't tough or hard-boiled or anything like it. He seemed to be a mild-mannered little fellow, a little shy, almost like me. He talked about orchids and modern art. They were his hobbies, he said, raising orchids and collecting paintings, modern paintings. Yes, but as the lecture went on, I began to understand. By the time it was over, I knew.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I consider myself twice blessed. Every man is blessed who has a hobby, but I am among the fortunate few who have two hobbies. And as the fellow said, whose fiancée had a twin sister, I love them both.
Thank you very much.
Later that evening, I made an excuse to get away from Ada and went down to the hotel where I knew Mr. Robinson was staying. I bribed the bellboy $1.75 to tell me which was his room. I went down the hall and knocked at the door of 708.
Yeah?
Western Union.
Come on in. Just put it on the...
Well, say, Western Union dresses their boys up pretty snappy in this town, don't they? I must apologize for adopting the subterfuge, Mr. Robinson, but I have something of the utmost importance to discuss with you, and I was afraid you might not see me since, well, we've never been formally introduced.
Formally introduced? Why, that's all right. What is it, autograph?
I'm afraid it's something a good deal more serious than that, Mr. Robinson.
Yeah? Well, you caught me right in the middle of shaving, as you see, but if you don't mind my finishing the job while you talk, why, come right along inside. Tell me all about it.
Thank you.
Well, now, what's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Robinson, I have a problem, and I feel you are the person best fitted in the world to tell me what to do.
That's so. Well, what is the problem?
Mr. Robinson, suppose, of course, this is purely hypothetical, but suppose you were going to kill somebody.
Kill somebody?
Yes, in your own home, somebody who's, shall we say, related to you.
Yeah, now, hold on a minute, Mr.
Hubbard. Homer J. Hubbard.
Mr. Hubbard. I may look like a bad guy on the screen, but when I'm not working, I'm just a plain, peace-loving citizen like anybody else.
You can fool people like that audience tonight with all that talk about orchids and modern art, and it was very good, and I quite understand why you do it. A man in your position must have a front, of course, but you didn't fool me.
I didn't, huh?
Well, I know, rather, I knew I could come to you and be perfectly frank.
Yeah, about what?
Why, about the murder.
About the what?
Well, look at me, Mr. Robinson. I'm a shy, inhibited, weak, utterly ineffectual person. I've none of your assurance, your hardness, your ability to cope with any situation in a direct, ruthless way.
Yeah?
Well, how many times I wished I had, because for 20 years my life has been made horribly, unbearably miserable by one person. My wife.
Oh, so that's the way it is.
Yes. For years I bore it as best I could, and then one day I thought, how would you have coped with it? And of course I knew at once you would kill her.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, Mr. Robinson. I wouldn't think of such a thing. Look here. I've even secured a gun to do it with.
Hey, yeah, here, you better give me that. No, don't point it. Well, hand it to me by the barrel. Here.
Well, put it over here. Safer, you know. Yeah, I must admit I know very little about firearms, and they're quite distasteful to me.
Yes, you and me both.
You, Mr. Robinson?
Well, I mean, small arms like that. Of course, a Tommy gun, that's different. That's the only thing to use.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But I didn't know where to get a Tommy gun. I was afraid even if I did, I'd never master the art of using it.
Yeah, well, now you want to kill your wife, is that it? You want me to help you.
If you would, Mr. Robinson, if you could spare the time, I can't tell you how grateful I'd be.
Yeah, well, you know, Mr. Hubbard, you look like a pretty nice little guy. Wife must really be an old battle axe to have got you in a frame of mind like this. All right, now I'll tell you what I'll do. I will help you.
Oh, Mr. Robinson.
Yes, but it's got to be done my way, see? It's got to be done right. You got to plan these things. Yeah, now, take this gat, this little fleet, for instance, that you got over there. That's no kind of a rod to kill your wife with. Why, the caliber is all wrong. The ballistics would be all wrong. Things would be on your trail just like that. Now, I got a gat home that's perfect for the job. Get me? I've knocked off Orson Welles, Jimmy Cagg. Oh, I don't know how many guys with this. Now, the first thing when I get home, I'll send it to your parcel post, see?
Would you, Mr. Robinson?
Oh, sure. Now, when you get it, just lay low, see? Now, don't do a thing till you hear from me. I'll lay this thing out for some of my boys, and then I'll get in touch with you, okay?
Oh, yes, Mr. Robinson. I don't know how to thank you.
Ah, forget it, pal. What's a little murder between friends?
I could scarcely maintain my composure in the 2 days that followed. The second day, sure enough, the gun arrived. It was a great, heavy thing, the kind that's referred to, I think, as an automatic. Remembering its history, I handled it with the utmost care and reverence. I hid it in the garage where I keep my pipe that Ada won't let me smoke in the house. It was the next afternoon, a Saturday, that the phone rang. I rushed into the bedroom to answer it and close the door after me so Ada wouldn't hear in case it was.
Hello, Homer.
Yes?
This is Eddie.
Eddie?
Yeah, you know, Eddie Robinson.
Oh, yes, Miss... Eddie.
You get that package I sent you?
Oh, yes, I got it.
Okay, but don't fool around with it, will you, until the time comes. Kind of tricky.
Oh, no, I won't.
Now, listen. The deadline is tomorrow night. Midnight, got it?
Yes?
Now, here's the layout. Tomorrow night, you go to bed, just as always, but have that cat handy and leave the front door open, see?
I understand.
Oh, say, wait a minute. I meant to ask you, is it safe to talk where you are?
Oh, yes. The phone's in the bedroom and the door is closed.
The bedroom, huh? That's swell. Well, now, listen. A little before midnight, you get up, see? When she's asleep, you take a spot just outside the bedroom door, see? Where you can keep an eye on her and on the front door, too, see?
Yes?
Well, at midnight, I'll contact you. We'll do your job and then make a quick getaway and you can hold up in the hideout till the heat's off. Get it? Tomorrow night, midnight.
I'll do everything just as you say, Eddie. I followed his instructions to the letter. It seemed hours before Ada went to sleep that night. It seemed days until my watch finally crept around towards midnight. But at last, the time had come. I crept out of bed, got the gun out of my coat pocket, and took my position on the landing outside the bedroom door as he had told me to. And then suddenly the phone rang. The plan was ruined. Even Edward G. Robinson couldn't have foreseen this. I rushed back into the bedroom, hoping against hope that I could catch it before Ada woke up. But she already had the light on.
Homer! What in the world are you doing prowling around at this time of night with a gun in your hand?
Why, I thought I heard a burglar.
Burglar? When I've answered this phone, I want to talk to you, Homer Jeremiah Hubbard.
Yeah.
Hello? Yes. What? Oh.
What?
Homer, there is a burglar.
Is there?
Someone just saw him trying to get into the house.
Oh, are you sure?
Of course I am. A man just phoned that he saw the burglar. We don't just stand there.
No.
He's got a gun. Go on down and stop him.
Yes, but Ada...
Come on. Do you want us to be killed in our beds?
No.
Go on, I say.
Oh, Ada, why do you have to spoil everything?